The other big story tonight is the BRICS summit. This year's summit had a lot of promise, but in the end it turned out to be like a packet of chips. Great packaging, but once you open it, what you get is a lot of air and very little substance. Although it had its moments like this one. This is from earlier today. South African President Cyril Ramaphosa was welcoming India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi. As they walk up, Modi spots the Indian flag on the floor. This was a mark for him to stand on. This is where he was supposed to stand for the photo. But instead of standing on it, the Prime Minister picked it up and put it in his pocket. The South African leader saw what happened and he did the same with his flag. Well, optics aside, what were the tangible outcomes? Let's start with China. Their contingent struggled. Beijing had big plans for BRICS this year. They wanted to fundamentally change the group, to add more members, to get a common currency, and more importantly, to take a tougher stand against the West. The Chinese president made a power play at BRICS.
We need to use the BRICS Plus cooperation well and accelerate the expansion process. Let more countries join the BRICS family, pool wisdom, and gather strength to make global governance more fair and reasonable.
But in the end, he generated more bad press. Yesterday, Xi Jinping suddenly went missing. He skipped an important event, the BRICS Business Forum. All other leaders were present. One by one, they delivered their statements. Even Vladimir Putin spoke. He was not there in person, but he joined the summit virtually. Xi Jinping was the only leader who did not attend. He was in South Africa, but he sent his commerce minister to deliver his speech. What do you think happened to Xi Jinping? He wasn't late to the event. Before the business forum, he was present at all engagements. He even showed up to receive an award, the Order of South Africa, the country's highest civilian order. He's on a state visit there. But for some reason, he decided to skip one event. No explanation given. Was he unhappy about something? Did he fall ill? Was there a pressing matter that needed his urgent attention? China won't say. It never does. Foreign minister goes missing, silence. President goes missing, silence. All you have is awkward Chinese diplomats giving standard answers. It happened again today when they were asked about Xi Jinping's disappearing act. They acted like it did not happen. Listen to this.
Yesterday afternoon, President Xi Jinping delivered a speech to the Business Forum.
Can you believe it? Even the text statement said the same, that Xi Jinping delivered the speech, except he did not. Wang Wentao, China's commerce minister, read out the remarks. It was basically a long rant full of anti-West rhetoric. The speech criticized the United States and defended China's economic policies. It said, and I'm quoting, "China is on the right side of history and hegemonism is not in China's DNA."
We have gained democratic independence through great hardship and sacrifice, and we have continued to explore a path of development that is in line with our own national conditions. All that we have done, in the final analysis, is to enable our people to lead a prosperous life. However, some countries, unwilling to give up their hegemonic position, have arbitrarily blocked and suppressed emerging market countries and developing countries.
China says it doesn't want a competition with the US. What it wants instead is a new world order with China at its center. And Russia has backed this position. Listen to what Russian President Vladimir Putin said.
I would like to point out that namely the aspiration to preserve this hegemony in the world, the aspiration of certain countries to preserve this hegemony has led to the severe crisis in Ukraine. First, the Western countries helped to commit an anti-constitutional coup in that country, and a war was unleashed against those who did not agree to this coup. A brutal war, a war of attrition, which lasted for 8 years.
Both China and Russia are pushing for changes at BRICS. They want expansion. More members, more friendly countries means more clout. India and Brazil do not agree with this approach. They want to be selective on new members. Prime Minister Modi spoke about this today. He said there should be consensus before a new member is let in.
Excellency, भारत ब्रिक्स की सदस्यता में विस्तार का पूरा समर्थन करता है और इसमें कॉन्सेंसस के साथ आगे बढ़ने का स्वागत करता है। 2016 में भारत की अध्यक्षता के दौरान हमने ब्रिक्स को बिल्डिंग रिस्पॉन्सिव इंक्लूसिव एंड कलेक्टिव सॉल्यूशन से परिभाषित किया था। 7 साल बाद हम कह सकते हैं कि ब्रिक्स विल बी ब्रेकिंग बैरियर्स, revitalizing economies, inspiring innovation, creating opportunities, and shaping the future.
What about the proposal on common currencies? The idea has some traction, but there are differences on the approach. China wants the BRICS to use the yuan. Brazil does not agree. Here's what their president, Lula da Silva, said.
The creation of a currency for trade and investment transactions between BRICS members increases our payment options and reduces our vulnerabilities.
So no consensus on a common currency either. China's proposals fell flat, but the host South Africa promised to keep the discussions going.
We are concerned that global financial and payment systems are increasingly being used as instruments of geopolitical contestation. Global economic recovery relies on predictable global payment systems and the smooth operating of banking, supply chains, trade, tourism, as well as financial flows.
So no major takeaways to write home about. That was the BRICS summit for you, held hostage to different political priorities.